Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to give Lorenzo Lamas some love because he made a lot of great martial arts movies back in the day. And today we're going to talk about Night of the Warrior from 1991. Stars Lorenzo Lamas, of course, Kathleen Kinmont, Anthony Geary, and Arlene Dahl. And Lorenzo Lamas was married to Kathleen Kinmont at the time, I believe, and Arlene Dahl was his real-life mother. She recently passed away. She was an iconic actress in the golden days of Hollywood. Now, this movie is also directed by Raphael Zelinsky and written by Thomas Ian Griffith. So you have a pretty talented cast here and some people behind the scenes as well. Now, this movie, Lorenzo Lamas plays a guy named Miles Keene, and he's a club owner. But in order to get the money for that, he had to do some underground fights. And Lynch, played by Anthony Geary, is the bookie, the guy who kind of sets up the underground fights. And the movie starts out, he has an underground fight and he wins, he makes some money. He's like, hey Lynch, I don't owe you anything else. The club is mine, free and clear. And so he just wants to be a club owner now. And so Anthony Geary's like, okay, I accept that. And his character anyway, and they all go about their merry way. But Lynch is approached by a guy named Chang, who's another guy who brings in fighters, and they book fights together, these underground fights for people to bet on. And he goes to Lynch, and he's like, Lynch, I really want to book another fight. And he's like, my fighter's retired. And then he gives Lynch a lot of money to change his mind. And so Lynch books the fight. And Chang's kind of old school, and once you make a commitment with him, he expects it to be fulfilled. So Lynch goes to Miles at the club, and he's like, look, I booked a fight. This money isn't a loan, and it was a big wad of money. He's like, it's not a loan, it's yours. You just got to do this fight. And Miles is like, I'm done. And he pushes the money aside, and now Lynch is in trouble because he booked a fight. And so, he has to apply pressure to Miles. And Miles also, kind of as a side hobby, this movie's 30 years old, so there's older technology, but he would take pictures of the streets of L.A., and he made these things called video prints. He was kind of an artist in a way. It was kind of a side thing for him. And he meets an art student played by Kathleen Kinmont, and she plays Catherine, and she's very beautiful, and he's captivated by her, and he meets her at a diner, and he wants to get to know her better, and they start to have a little bit of a romance. But as Lynch applies the pressure, and Miles just wants to start spending time with Catherine and just be a club owner, he wants to kind of have a normal life without the shady side. And Lynch is starting to apply pressure to get him to fight again. So those things kind of conflict, and Lynch eventually has to frame him for a murder of one of the girls at his club. And he's like, look, I'll make this all go away, but you need to fight for me. So it becomes a conflict there because Miles doesn't want to fight again. He's really done with it. He wants to try to move on. But then the cops are after him, and Catherine's trying to help him, but she's caught up in this. And Lynch, just needs to book this fight. So this movie has a great feel. I love the Los Angeles setting. The characters are very flawed. They're not perfect people by any means. They're not even completely sympathetic. I mean, Miles isn't the greatest guy in the world. He has a past, and he's not perfect by any means. But it's a pretty good it's kind of a real movie. It has a plot you can follow, and this doesn't have a ton of fights. There's only 2 major fights. And it's more drama, and the drama building up to it, and the decisions he has to make. And I just love the way it's shot. It was like, this is a good glimpse into Los Angeles at that time. And I think it was a good movie, and it's kind of a drama in a way with some kickboxing thrown in there. And the fights are good. So I think this is one of the better movies from that genre at that time, and I really enjoy it. And if you can find it somewhere, I suggest you check it out. It's pretty good. It's a little bit different. It's not quite what you expected. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know. But over the years, I've come to appreciate it. And I think Lorenzo Lamas doesn't get his due when we talk about Billy Blanks and Jalal Mirai and Cynthia Rothrock. Lorenzo Lamas is in there too. He's a black belt, and he has some good martial arts movies from that era. So anyway, let me know in the comments if you've seen some older Lorenzo Lamas movies. What are some of your favorite ones? And let me know all that in the comments. And thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.